Greetings and welcome to the Warrior Mind podcast. I'm Greg Swanson, your mental strength coach, guide, and mentor. Just like to thank you for stopping by and visiting the Warrior Mind podcast. So one of the big questions people get before they start listening to the podcast is what and who is a warrior? Well, we look at it as one who conquers oneself mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So the Warrior Mind podcast is about helping you create the mental strength, the physical strength, emotional strength, and spiritual strength to live a life that you desire. So then the question comes up, what is mental strength? Well, mental strength is causing things to happen despite mental resistance. And it's this mental resistance that we work on in the podcast. We will take a topic and run through a couple of scenarios and work through those so that you will be able to create the mental strength to break through the mental resistance. Because remember, everything you want in life lies on the other side of mental resistance. And this brings up the TFAR model. We don't go into it often on the podcast, but we do go into that quite regularly. And the TFAR model talks to us about thoughts lead to feelings, and these feelings will lead us to action or inactions that create results. Now, if we're not getting the results we want, we need to trace it back to the thoughts we are thinking. And this thoughts we are thinking may be supportive or not supportive, and this is where the mental strength and busting through the mental resistance comes into play. And so we talk a lot about success on the Warrior Mind podcast, and success is your definition, right? I'm not here to define what success is for you, what personal success is, what business success is. But we can all rest assured that success is an achievement of something. And so when you think about achieving success, success in life and in business is about managed thoughts, focused attention, and deliberate action. So you have to have those three things, and that gets back to that TFAR model, and that gets back to mental strength, and that gets back to mental resistance. And so when you start looking at your life and what you're producing and what you're not producing, keep in mind that how you do anything is a reflection of how you do everything. So if we can take one part of your life and create the mental strength in that to be successful, you'll be able to repeat that pattern in other areas of your life. And so what exactly is covered in the Warrior Mind podcast? Well, like I mentioned, we talk about physical things. We do talk about working out and having some fun. We talk about emotional things. We talk about spiritual strength. We talk about mental strength. We talk a lot about goals because without goals, there's no reason to move forward. We talk about energy management. How do you manage your energy? We talk about self-talk. What are you saying to yourself? And we talk about mental imagery, among many, many, many other things. So the podcast is basically about 10 to 12 minutes. Occasionally I'll have an interview which goes longer than that, but it's basically about 12 minutes, a laser-focused podcast on one of these topics to help you and give you some assignments to help you through the rest of the week to develop that mental strength. So what I'd like you to do is please, below here, subscribe to us on iTunes, and then please make a comment or review our podcast, and then remember to request your resource guide to you as a thank you. And with that, thank you again. This is Greg Swanson, and remember, every facet, every compartment of your mind is to be programmed by you. And unless you take your rightful responsibility and begin to program your own mind, the world will program it for you.